Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. Could 2026 spell the end of Centella Asiatica? Now, Centella, also affectionately known as cica, has been a mainstay in the Korean skincare market for the longest possible time. I know the vast majority of us will apply Centella Asiatica to our skin daily, as it forms a key component of just about every single Korean skincare product. However, in 2026, lots of brands seem to be turning their back on Centella, removing it from their products and replacing it by something known as Teca. Cica versus Teca. It's only one letter difference, but actually, Teca could be a fantastic way of elevating all our skincare results and outcomes without necessarily having to have new products or higher price points. We're going to talk about it all in today's video, so you guys can make the right decision when it comes to your own skincare routine. Sit back, relax, let's talk. Is this the end of Centella Asiatica? Now, in today's video, I'm going to share with you my hot take on this topic, but I really want to know yours. What's your thoughts when it comes to Centella? Is it an ingredient that you use and you love? You wouldn't be without it in your skincare routine. If that applies to you, leave the heart emoji down in the comments and share with me any of your personal favorite Centella containing products. If you're somebody that just has never really seen the appeal, maybe you think it's a little overhyped as an ingredient, again, let me know by leaving the cross emoji and state why. That way we can see where the true thoughts and opinions of the Mad About Skin community lie, and I ultimately just love to hear from you guys each and every single day. Also know that in today's video, we're going to be going under the hood, doing a bit of a deep dive into these ingredients. And this is something that I really want to do more of here on the channel, helping you guys to make the right decisions when it comes to your own skincare routines. If you want to see more of this style of content, then the best way of letting me know by reaching down, giving the video a big thumbs up and a like. The more likes a video gets, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform. And it's also a great way of indicating to me the type of content that you guys like to see, because I always want to create the videos that you guys most find useful, helpful, and enjoy watching. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle, delve straight on in. So, Centella Asiatica. It's an extract which has been around for decades upon decades, but it now forms the core component of just about every Korean skincare product. It's one of those universally beneficial ingredients that I think, with just a few exceptions, most people can use and apply to their skin for some great benefits. It's calming and it's soothing, which is fantastic. It's also anti-inflammatory, so it can prevent side effects from other more potent actives, whilst also calming and soothing already sensitive skin. It has wound healing properties, which have been studied for decades and understood to really help reorganize the fibroblasts in our skin to help after a wound or a burn has occurred. Meaning, again, it's a great option for people that maybe have acne or might have, a little sun exposure that they want to take the heat out of. Centella Asiatica can work really, really well. It has great anti-aging benefits because the less inflammation we have in our skin, the more preserved our collagen will be, so it really prevents premature aging. And some people and some studies even say it can help reduce the risk of hyperpigmentation. With all those amazing benefits, it's not hard to see why Centella Asiatica is so popular. So why is it being removed? Well, there's a big trend in 2026 of brands moving away from Centella Asiatica and towards something called Teca. Teca, which actually stands for titrated extract of Centella Asiatica, is what I like to see a newer generation cica. Now, some people class Teca as a separate ingredient. For me, I think that's a little bit on the misleading side, because actually what it is an elevated form of Centella Asiatica. It's in the name, titrated extract of Centella Asiatica. And what they actually do is hyper-concentrate all the beneficial compounds formed within Centella Asiatica. That concentrated form is then referred to as Teca, and this delivers elevated benefits when you look at any of the studies into it. These studies show that if you use Teca as opposed to cica, Centella Asiatica in its standard form, you actually get increased wound healing. One study actually showed 3.5 times greater wound healing versus using the same concentration of Centella Asiatica. You also get greater calming and soothing. Studies show that by using Teca over cica, you actually get enhanced calming and soothing benefits, which is ultimately what we're using these ingredients for. Overall, if you look at the data and the studies into Teca, it shows pretty conclusively that using this hyper-concentrated form delivers all the benefits and more, and obviously you need to use less of it. Less of it because it's so hyper-concentrated, which to me seems a no-brainer in terms of brands transitioning from Centella Asiatica to Teca. So why the controversy? Well, I think it all comes down to one brand in particular, this Skin1004. Now, these are their famous Skin1004 Madagascar Centella products. These have been bestsellers in the Korean skincare market for the longest time ever. I think I started using them maybe 5 years ago, and they've never fallen out of the top 10 bestsellers since. People love these products, and they've started the reformulation process, and you now see on the front here, it says Teca. They've started reformulating it to use this hyper-concentrated form of Centella Asiatica in order to deliver these enhanced benefits, and this has upset some in the skincare community. Now, some people say that actually they're introducing the Teca line alongside the original, the OG. Others say that they're actually replacing it over time. I contacted the brand and they said that their plan was to replace over time. This isn't happening today, so if you prefer the original version, you can still get it, you can still stock up. But over time, it's going to be replaced by the Teca version because, in my opinion at least, I think brands are following the science and saying you can get enhanced results from the same concentrations in products by switching things up. And whilst it's frustrating to hear of favourite products being reformulated, sometimes change can be a good thing, especially if we're getting extra benefits from it. So, are there really any side effects? Well, as far as these studies have shown, so providing that you're not sensitive to Centella Asiatica, which some people are. I know a lot of people badge this as a anyone can use ingredient, but some people can be sensitive to Centella Asiatica, particularly in higher concentrations. Providing that's not you, you should be able to swap to a Teca infused serum, no problem at all. The problem comes with obviously it being hyper concentrated. So if you're sensitive to Centella Asiatica or find that your skin doesn't tolerate a high dose of it, I would avoid Teca because, again, it's hyper concentrated, so you're going to hyper concentrate the potential side effects that you would otherwise get. For most people, this is a switch you can make with ease, but just be mindful, if your skin doesn't tolerate Centella Asiatica, stay away from Teca because fundamentally they're the same thing, one is just more hyper concentrated. For me, I think this is a change and a transition in the skincare industry that should be applauded. Ultimately, when a small switch can lead to such enhanced benefits, it seems like a no-brainer, especially when the irritation profile of the ingredient isn't significantly different to that of the one that it's replacing. As I said, if you can't tolerate Centella Asiatica, Teca is never going to be for you. But for the vast majority of us that can, it can be a switch which will elevate the results without having to actually change up a whole lot more in our skincare routine. However, brands are sneaky. They see an emerging trend and they latch onto it. Lots of brands know how popular Teca is becoming in 2026, and so they're putting tiny amounts of it in their products and then plastering it all over their marketing to sell it. This is shady and something that I would recommend avoiding because whilst it is hyper concentrated, we still do need this Teca in a decent concentration in order to deliver these results. So don't swap out a high concentration Centella for a low concentration Teca because actually you're going to be stepping down in terms of the results, not up, which is the point of this. I really do love this, the Centella Asiatica brand from Skin1004. This range is fantastic. They do an ampoule, they do a toner, and they do a cream. Now, I should say, as always, this video isn't sponsored. It isn't in paid partnership. You'll never see a sponsorship here on Mad About Skin, which I think is just another reason to reach down and hit that like button if you like to see your content sponsorship free. I turned down that coin so I can speak from the heart and not the wallet. I just really enjoy these products. I think the best is the cream for sure. I think, you know, the toner and the ampoule, absolutely fine if that's the texture that you like to get your Centella in. But for me, the cream is where it's at. This is a high-dose Teca cream that's packed full of other beneficial actives and ferments, and is just going to hydrate you to the gods, calm, soothe, nourish, and give you all that elevated Centella action at a really meaningful concentration. This absolutely stunning and is really lightweight as well, so you can use it as a summer moisturizer, which is probably what I'm going to do when my skin doesn't need that real depth of occlusivity. This is really nice product, lightweight and easy to use. As I said, all three of these in this range do have a good dose of Teca in them, so if you want to try this ingredient, these are the ones I would go for. My personal preference is for the cream, but I'll link all three down below. You do you. And the other product that you're probably seeing a lot on other social media apps is this. This is the Centella Medica cream. This has gone viral, viral, and viral again. It does contain Teca. It has some other great ingredients in, but they don't disclose the percentage, which is a bit of a red flag for me at least. I like to know what I'm putting on my skin, and it is quite heavily fragranced. I don't personally like the fragrance, and it doesn't make sense to put fragrance in a calming and soothing product. I can't get when brands do that. It just doesn't make logical sense. I would personally stick for the fragrance-free options, especially if you're using it for calming and soothing, whilst People do rave about this and say it's great. For me at least, I think I'd like to know the percentage and I'd like a fragrance-free option. I will leave some other Teca recommendations down in the comments and description box below if you did want to check them out and explore in more detail. But I've switched it up and started using this cream by Skin1004, and I can definitely say I get greater results from Teca than I ever got from Centella Asiatica. It's taken it up a notch, and sometimes a rebranding can definitely be for the best. And I think this, in my opinion, is a good example of that. So let me know your thoughts. Are you going to dip your toe into the Teca world? Are you sticking with your Centella Asiatica? Do you just wish that brands would leave well alone? Let me know. Sound off in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching to the bitter end on yet another video. I feel like we are so far into 2026 already, and I've got so many topics to discuss lined up. I think there's going to be, a lot of innovation in the skincare community. I'm going to be bringing it all to you. So if you haven't already, make sure to reach down and give us a little subscribe and a follow, because I think I speak for everyone. I say we would love to have you as part of the Mad About Skin community, and I'd hate for you guys to miss any of the content which is coming. So just thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, wherever in the world you are, stay safe, stay well. I love your skin. Take care. Bye.